Girls, by now you should know I'm probably hanging out with Miss Oregano. I love a good microdose moment. Ganjita, the Mary Jane, if you will. I do love to get tooted. It's no secret here on Unfazed and Unbothered. And while I did make it one of my New Year's resolutions to cut back smoking, I just can't give up the gummies. If you're not familiar with microdosing, it's basically an entry-level experience to floating on cloud nine, if you will. A responsible high. We've talked a lot about substances, but this is not gonna land you in prison. Anyways, girls, I love microdosing, and I know you will too. So I'm very excited about today's episode being sponsored by Lumi Labs. Their gummies are very delicious. You guys, I cannot emphasize that enough. If you're having anxiety or you're struggling to get a good night's sleep, these have really helped me with those issues. I love to pop one. I get creative at night and start writing music, jotting down ideas for new episodes. So if you just need a little boost, I highly recommend. They're also really good for like a post-workout recovery. So yeah, girls, listen, microdose is available nationwide. To learn more about microdosing THC, just do a quick little Google search or go to microdosegummies.com and use code UNFAZED. You'll get free shipping and 30% off your first order, which is very cute and gorgeous. So links can be found in the show description, but again, that's microdosegummies.com and use code UNFAZED.
Hey guys, it's Tasia, and I want to talk to you about Sydney in the Sheets. Are you tired of sex podcasts that only focus on how to please your man? Then Sydney in the Sheets is the podcast for you. In each episode, Sydney, Paige, and her friends talk about incredible ways to help you transform your life in and out of the bedroom. There are a lot of other sex podcasts out there, but they can be intimidating. Sydney in the Sheets feels more like a real conversation you'd have with your girlfriends, which is my favorite, by the way, because podcasts like that really do intimidate me. Not enough people talk about how to make sex a better experience for women. Sydney in the Sheets is a sex-positive podcast made by women for women. Sydney and her friends will talk about losing their virginity, body count, purity culture, sex positions, lube, and everything in between. They'll talk about the good, the bad, the uncomfortable, and the embarrassing parts of sex and relationships because they don't think anyone should be having bad sex. To listen to Sydney in the Sheets, follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or whatever you listen to. You can also listen ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus and Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.
Trigger warning, girls. This week's episode, we will be discussing sensitive topics such as eating disorders and bulimia. So if you're going to be triggered, tune in or tune out.
Hey girls, welcome back to Unfazed and Unbothered.
I'm Camo.
And I'm Tasia. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about... on today's episode, we're going to be talking about, how fucking gorgeous I am every fucking day. I'm balling on these bitches, balling on these bitches, balling on these bitches.
Oh my God, the way it just keeps fucking up my face. If you're watching,
it's giving iguana. It's giving that. Also, I'm having nightmares lately.
Really? What about what?
Like, it's like PTSD, like dead ass. It really is. I'm telling you, it's like scary dreams that like I'm in the trenches again. Like, but some of them are like hard to remember, and like I'm in these buildings, like these long ass hotels, and I can't get out of it, and it's like so many stories high, and like I'm just running on all these damn levels of the hotel and can't find myself to get out.
If there's any mediums in the chat or any astrologers out there, please let us know what this means.
Also, I want to take a moment, okay? So on my second TikTok, I just post like random shit. You know what I'm saying? Less pressure, bitch. So I just post whatever. But like sometimes, like it's just fun to like not really care about what you post or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had like posted this room tour of Greenlee's room because I had rearranged it yesterday.
It looks so cute.
It was so cute and precious. And, it's like nobody fucking asked. And like people just give these answers or they just like write these comments, and I'm like, well, that's good that I didn't ask you. But like these people are like, oh my gosh, her TV is too big for her room. Don't you think that's a little excessive? No, actually I don't. I mean, I'd much rather do that than keep having to upgrade her fucking TV. And then they were like, can you please get the trampoline away from the window? Okay, period, per. And then somebody said, oh, I don't know if you know this, but astrology is demonic, and I know you love Jesus. Because she has Scorpio stuff, like astrology shit on her walls. Like, please kindly suck my pussy. Thank you.
Hold on, this visual is fuck. 1 second, don't say a word. We be having so many technical difficulties.
Yes, we do. And also, like, sometimes I get really scared that, like, people, like family, friends, or like even like some family members watch our episodes because they probably like hear me and they're like, Tasia, I can't believe you said the P word, Tasia.
Pussy.
I can't believe you'd say something like that. You disgrace. You're a disgrace. You disgrace.
We are disowning you from this bloodline.
I mean, I really be worried. My gum chewing girl, get it together. Why didn't you say something?
Bitch, I need some gum.
I love me some gum and some doodle flakes. I'm just kidding. That's stupid. But yeah, I woke up today and chose violence. Sometimes, no, but I don't know what it is. But like the last few weeks, like everything has been getting on my nerves. And it's probably because like my hormones and all that shit are still trying to get back together. No, you know what? That's a lie. I'm just going to blame it on the fact that I'm just a bitch. Because that's really what it boils down to. But like, these comments just get on my fucking nervous, bitch. Like, nobody asked you, bitch. And then somebody yesterday was like, oh my gosh, you like Jesus? You like Jesus?
Tasia. What?
Yeah. And they were like, wow. Like, they were like mad that I like Jesus. And I'm like, WWJD. Yes, I do. What do you mean? Like, are you okay? And then somebody said something like, do y'all ever think she's rolling? Because every time she gets on here, she has coffee in her hand and it's barely drunk. Oh my God, you caught me. Oh my God.
She's a rolling mama.
Like, really? What the fuck is wrong with people?
I don't know, but speaking of rolling, I did shrooms this past weekend. And nothing happened. I was very disappointed. I went on a little trip. Oh my, Tasia.
What?
Ew. I went on this little trip with some friends for a friend's birthday. And girl, there were so many of us in this house. The house was very cute and gorgeous. But there was like a Tasia. There was this fan interaction that was just, I can't, like, so we were like, it was like 2:00 in the morning. We were in Tybee Island and we were walking through the trenches, straight up the trenches. And we walked into this one bar. I swear to God, they were playing the cha-cha slide. And I immediately walked out. I said, this is not okay. And everybody in there was like Caucasian and like 45, balding, cowboy get up.
Not the balding.
It was not cute and gorgeous.
They was on that scan smile.
They were. And they were all just up there just cha-cha sliding. And so anyways, I fucking walk out. And this girl, I was like in a black trench coat, black dress, black leggings, black boots. And she was like, oh my God, are you like emo? And I said, whatever you want me to be.
I would have said, I'm your worst nightmare.
I should have said that. But then immediately when I responded to her, she recognized who I was. And she started grabbing me and she started filming me. And it was, I know that video wherever it's at out there, I look so uncomfortable. And she was so drunk and I was like tipsy enough to not give a fuck. Like she kept putting her arms around me and like, it was very obvious that she was like not really a fan of mine, but because she kept referring to me as Tasia Alexis's bestie. And I was like, yeah, my bestie. And then she was like, I love Greenlee and King. I was like, King? You mean Prince? Okay, purr. But it was just so obnoxious. Like the whole night, like I kept trying to fucking get away from her. We would like go down the street and she would not stop harassing a bitch. But yeah, that was my weekend. It was I had some crabs. I want some more crabs. It was really good. Yeah. What did you do this weekend?
Honestly, so Gavin, his shop is being built. So we went to check out the shop. And that was pretty much it, I think. And yeah, we haven't really been doing much because there's nothing to do, one. And two, like, it's hard to go out when you look this good because so many people look at you every day, you know? So it's like, stop, paparazzi, please stop.
Tasia.
So, yeah. Yeah. But also, also, like, I just want to say that no matter what diet I'm on, I can always go for some sushi and fried rice. Thank you.
You are obsessed with fucking fried rice.
I know it's bad. I prayed today about it. I was like, please help me to stop wanting fried rice.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I wish I was.
Tasia.
I had to take a prayer because I had it yesterday and today, and I don't just
yeah.
I don't just eat a couple bites. No, ma'am. I eat the whole fucking bowl. I do. It's good. It's good. How can you take one bite? You can't. You have
From
to eat
Mr.
the whole.
Choppy?
From Bluefin Hibachi.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very good. The vegetable fried rice, I eat the whole fucking thing. And if y'all know how much rice comes in that bitch, y'all would be like, what? But I'm sorry, I can't stop eating it. And now I just want to barf because I'm so stuffed.
Girl, you got to drink a fucking, what's it? A sparkling water. That's how I be getting through it. When I overindulge, bitch, I got to burp it all out, mama.
Yeah, I drink a gallon of water a day.
But it's not sparkling, so it's not going to sparkle your pussy.
It's 1:50 and I'm already drinking down by 5 p.m. No excuses. It says no excuses. And that's the truth.
Tasia, what is this episode?
I don't know, but I'm living for it. We're doing very good today. Thank you.
Yes, exceptional. Okay, so when we took this podcast on, it was something that I've like thought about for a while, but we have no experience podcasting. And I have seen some of the recent feedback, and people are like, what the fuck is going on with this show? So listen, girls, what the fuck do you want us to talk about? Because I had no idea that coming up with like topics and concepts was going to be this hard. And we were on a motherfucking roll for a good period of time because we had like episodes lined up with shit we were going to talk about. So girls, listen, cut us some slack. We're not experts. We're still learning about podcasting. And I would love to hear some more feedback. So pause this show and leave a review. Please, 5 stars. Please don't hurt us, please. And let us motherfucking know what you want us to talk about, what y'all need to know, what your pussy is yearning for. Also, like,
I feel like a lot of people don't understand that when, like, for example, 2 weeks ago when that podcast came out, neither me or you wanted it to come out.
No.
People were mad at us for it and left bad reviews. And I'm like, it's so messed up because one, that episode shouldn't have come out, but me and you've already talked about that. And like,
let's just say it wasn't up to us.
It wasn't up to us.
Something happened. Something with the file got corrupted, whatever, and it wouldn't translate. And so the like first 17 minutes of the clip started like looping for some reason. I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking tech guru. But
it was fucked up. We didn't want the episode to come out, and it came out anyways because fuck what we have to say. Who cares what people think about us, right? And so basically the episode came out anyways, and you know, we were told they'll understand. They will. I don't give a fuck. And they'll understand. No, they won't. It's embarrassing on us. And that's exactly what it was. And nobody got backlash except for me and you. Oh my God. And that's what we said. Right. But we don't know nothing.
Right.
We know nothing.
No. So girls, please just let us know like what you want ongoing, because that particular episode, we did not want that. That's not that's not what we wanted to put out. But something happened and we were in a crunch of time, and I was like, look, I'll rush home and we'll re-record a new episode, but it had to come out when it had to come out. So that's on that. But besides that, it is difficult coming up with concepts and ideas of things to talk about, because, you know, for a period of time, we were recording like 4 or 5 episodes in one sitting, and we would already have things lined up. But now we're like doing them every week again, like once a week, doing one episode. And we're just like really catching you guys up on what happened in the whole week. And like sometimes there's just like not a lot of juice. But I will say, yeah, I'm out of ideas. Let's talk about Valentine's Day, though. Valentine's Day was yesterday, y'all.
So Valentine's Day is like really fun for me because I want to have kids, but like growing up, Valentine's Day was always like something that me and my mom did. And so it's definitely different like having kids and like being married and stuff. But like I've always just thought it was such a cute little holiday. A little holiday of love, but also in February, the month of February, it's my anniversary too. So like that's just fun in itself. But we didn't really do much. We just got Greenlee some little gifts because Princeton's still a baby. So there's really, I mean, what am I going to get him? Chocolate? Gorgeous. But I was going to like try to find something like sentimental that he could keep forever because that's kind of like what I did for Greenlee's first Christmas. I got her that blanket that she's obsessed with still. And it's just something sentimental. But I feel like I never have time for anything. Like I'm always like in a rush to get things done and then I end up not doing it and it sucks. But that's just the life you live when you're a mother. But also like I want to talk about the license situation because like it's really bothering me. So let's go on a break.
Bullshit.
Yeah, let's go on a little break and then we're going to come back and talk about the license situation.
Okay, per.
Okay, period.
Girls, by now you should know me well enough to know I'm probably hanging out with Miss Oregano. I love a good microdose moment. Microdosing, if you're not familiar, is basically an entry-level experience to floating on cloud nine, a responsible high, if you will. I love to get tooted, and while I did make it one of my New Year's resolutions to cut back smoking, I just can't give up the gummies. You know, we've talked a lot about substances, but, you know, you're not going to land in prison with a gummy or two, okay? So I'm very excited about today's episode being sponsored by Lumi Labs because I have been enjoying them personally. If you have anxiety or you just can't sleep well, these have really helped those problems for me. Also, I love to pop one and, you know, get creative at night. I write music and sometimes jot down new ideas for episodes. So it's really been cute and gorgeous for that. And they're very delicious. Just don't get carried away popping them like candy because you will start floating. Okay, girls? So, chew responsibly, I guess. Anyways, you guys, check them out. I highly recommend them. They're very cute and gorgeous if you need a boost or just want a little responsible high, if you will. Okay, so Microdose is available nationwide. To learn about microdosing THC, just do a search online, microdosegummies.com, and use code Unfazed. You'll get free shipping and 30% off your first order. Links can be found in the show description, but again, that's microdosegummies.com and use code Unfazed. Howdy.
So basically, I've just been like really irritated because I've been more than patient when it comes to the license situation. I did everything that I was supposed to do back in 2019 in order to get my license, even though I knew that I wouldn't be able to get them back for a few years, whatever. Went ahead and got it done. And I found out probably a year ago that I could get my license back on February 3rd. As you know, today is February 16th or 15th. And I still don't have my license. So I'm very annoyed because when I called the DMV, they were basically like, you need to, do this and this, and that's it. So I already have all that done. But basically, I did extra classes that I didn't need to do. And so I was waiting on some paperwork to get back for me to send over to this lady that did my clinical evaluation. And then I ended up calling the people that I did the classes with in 2019. And they were like, you didn't have to do any of this. We just would have sent in a letter for you that you completed everything. And I was like, okay, well, can we go ahead and still do that? And they were like, yes. He said, but first we need the information that the lady has that did your clinical evaluation. I was like, okay, cool, cute and gorgeous. So I called the people and the lady was like, yeah, it'll take about a week to get there to the guy. And I was like, okay, cool. It's been over a week. I cannot get in touch with fucking anybody.
Of course.
I have his personal number. I called him over the weekend. He texted me back. He goes, hey, I'll call you on Monday. It's Tuesday. Haven't heard from him. I called him twice yesterday and texted him, ignored me, and tried to call today. He didn't text me back. And it's very frustrating and I'm fucking over it because this is the thing. I have 2 children and like before it really wouldn't have mattered. And I'm blessed. Like, obviously I work from home, but like still like every time Princeton has a doctor's appointment, Gavin has to get off early. It's just it's so much work that easily could be solved if I just got my license back. But being that it's not these people's license or their life, they don't give a fuck. And I've literally haven't drove in 3 years. Like, how much longer do y'all want me to fucking wait? Like, it doesn't take that long. And the guy's like, yeah, I texted him. I said, the only thing I need is a letter saying that I completed the clinical evaluation. It's completed. He said, no, we're just going to send them a letter that you're completed with everything. Okay, but can you go ahead and give me something so I can get the fucking license?
Right.
Like, you're wasting my fucking time. But I'm fucking over it because there's nothing that you can do, you know? Unless I go up there and I'm like, demand it. And that's what Gavin said that he would do. He was like, why don't I just take off work one day and I take you up there and you just fucking get it? Because it's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? It took me 2 weeks to even get them on the phone for them to even help me get
Bitch, I would be up there so quick. Where's my shit?
It just don't make sense. Like, even Gavin said that he's never like seen somebody trying to like hold your own information. Like, why are you trying to hold my own information? That doesn't even.
It's the government, girl. They would like to make everything difficult for us people.
I mean, it's just so fucking frustrating. I'm about to text him right now as we speak. I'm about to put
the government can suck my pussy lips dry.
Hold on 1 second. Princeton's crying, y'all. I'm gonna put his little pacifier in. You know,
put that little pacifier in, mama.
Thank you, bitch.
So, while she goes takes care of business, we're just gonna have a moment, girls. So something that a lot of people have been telling me recently, is that, and this is something my ex used to tell me all the time, is that I need to have a cartoon. Like, I look like a cartoon character. And like my life, I feel like the storyline would just be the most iconic cartoon. Like, we need to get that in the works. So Pixar, Disney, somebody, one of you bitches, Nickelodeon, somebody hit me up because we're going to make a cartoon and it's going to be so crazy. I got so many stories to tell y'all. Okay. So, I don't know if you know anybody, have them hit me up. Have your people contact my people. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Now that you're back, bitch. God damn. Oh my God. What is happening? These cheap cords.
So yeah, I'm just like frustrated because also like I did this clinical evaluation. By the way, I already took that in 2019. I ended up paying for another clinical evaluation that I didn't even need, right? And so she was like, hey, I need 3 people to basically confirm that you've been sober for this amount of time. She said, I need paperwork stating that you completed all these things. I got all that shit up. I'm ready to go. And it just like dawned on me. I was like, wait a fucking minute. Like, I feel like I'm like doing all this extra shit for no reason. So I called, these people that I did the classes with and they were like, yeah, we're just going to do it all for you, which at the time sounded a lot easier. And now I'm just like, now y'all are just wasting my fucking time, you know?
I can't stand it.
Like, I got a fucking nice car ready for me to drive, but I can't drive it because of you mother suckers. Like, what the fuck? Like, I already have to pay out the ass. That's another thing, too. I have to pay out the ass for SR22 insurance. I have to hold that for a year. The longer I wait to get my license, the longer I'm going to have that shit. It's taking too fucking long. It's pissing me off. I'm about to text these bitches right now.
You can text them?
Yeah, he gave me his personal number.
Well, personally, hurry the fuck up.
So what do I say?
Hey, bitch, I'm dying. Help. SO fucking-S. Send me my shit, run me my information. I need my license. I can't keep going on like this. What are you not understanding in your little peon peasant brain?
Yeah, it just don't make no sense. And the thing is like when we talked on the phone, he really seemed like he was eager and ready to help me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you can't even respond to a text message.
He don't give a fuck.
Like, make it make sense.
Okay, so... Yeah, prayer. Tasia.
What?
What gives you purpose in life? Where do you find purpose?
Where do I find purpose? Honestly, that's hard because sometimes like I feel like I'm losing it.
Oh, that was deep.
Purpose. No, I'm serious.
Purpose. My purpose.
I feel like it's a battle, like, because like if I answer the question, it's probably not going to be honest because I'm really like, I don't know. Like lately, like I've really been struggling with like my mental health and like kind of understanding what my purpose is, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. Like I've been really like deep thinking about that lately. Like obviously, like I know my purpose is like a mother, and like my kids give me purpose, and like my family and my husband and all these things. But like when I actually like sit down and think about it, like what do I like? If somebody was to say, "Hey, what do you do in your free time?" Like I can't even answer that. Like I sit on my phone, you know. So like I really need to start like venturing out and like finding things that I like to do and like getting out of my comfort zone, because I think for so many years I have been like skewed by like what that really means. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because like so many people have asked me like, what's your hobbies? And like I really don't have any. Like I used to like to read, but like now I can't read. And like I am so like I can never get my mind to like focus enough for me to figure out like what is my hobby, you know? I just wake up and do the same things every day.
Well, I guess being a mother, that is a purpose in itself. Like,
and like, yeah, I like to shop. I like to spend money. That
night.
I do. It's bad. It's so bad.
It is bad. It's very bad.
It's so bad. And like, I don't know why it's such a problem for me. And I even told Gavin, I was like, I think what it is because like I sit home, and then when the kids are taking a nap or something, like what do you want? What am I supposed to do? Sit here and like twiddle my thumbs or paint my toenails?
I think what it is because we've been on like both sides of the spectrum. And I think what it is, and I know like speaking to my great grandmother and my grandmother, like they've both, I think I inherited this problem because they are hoarders. Like my great grandmother is an organized hoarder. Like she has everything. It looks like a beautiful museum. You know, you've been to Nanny's house.
Yeah.
Very cute and gorgeous. But I've also always accumulated stuff. And the way she always explained that to me, because it has always been like an issue in the family. Like, why do you keep accumulating more and more stuff? And she always said, because she grew up in the Great Depression. She was dirt poor, like didn't even have shoes to go to school, and people would make fun of her. And so when she came up on some money, she felt like she had to hold on to everything because that meant that she wasn't poor, if you catch my drift. And like, girl, I mean, we've been up, down financially. And so now that you find comfort in like buying things. Like sometimes I go to Starbucks, not even because I really wanted Starbucks, but because that is like a comfort to me. And it sounds so corny and so like weird, but like for real, like I get that, and I'm like, I can afford this $6 coffee. And that sounds so like stuck up maybe, but like it brings like some type of comfort to me. I don't know. Yeah,
and also like I have an addictive personality, and so things that I used to do for fun would be like, oh, like let's drink, like let's do this and that. And so like I don't do that anymore. So like I have to like find something else to use my addictive side on. And I think that it's become shopping. Because shopping, it's bad. Like,
oh, it's already bad separately, but every time we get together, that's the only thing we do.
And the thing is you would think that like on myself, like no, like I love getting other people gifts. Like my kids have so many pajamas for what? I went through Greenlee's pajamas, and when I tell you that she has so many Posh Peanut and Little Bum Bums pajamas, like it's ridiculous. Like every time there's a new arrival, she does not need a new pair of pajamas, you know? And in my head, it's so weird. And so like there's even times, Cam, where like I will have it in a shopping cart. It'll stay in there for days. I'll be obsessing over it for 4 days. And I'm like, if you just get it, if you just buy it, it won't be in the shopping cart anymore. It won't keep taunting you. So then I end up giving it and buying it.
I mean, I think that's just what comes with having an addictive personality. Like you went from drugs, alcohol to now spending. And I'm the same way, spending or overeating, overindulging, period. Like in substances, like I be going on benders sometimes. And this weekend was one of them. I cannot drink for a while. Like I'm not drinking or doing nothing for a long periodical time.
but also like I've realized, and this is so weird, is that I came to the realization that when I have to be in control of things in my life. And for some reason, I feel like I have to control my eating for some reason. Like my life is like revolved around eating, and it's not
It's
normal.
a problem.
It's not normal.
It's not.
It's not normal at all. And so I really need to talk to somebody about it, because like it's slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And like I eat enough food, don't get me wrong, but the calorie counting and like
but you're
the
getting
body
excessive.
checking.
Yes, you're getting excessive with it. I mean, you're obsessing.
Yeah, the body checking, the scale checking, hopping on the scale, it's bad. And so like I was doing research and I was like trying to figure out like what is the root of this. But I remember when I was in prison, I didn't have control over anything. And so that's what I controlled in there was my weight.
Maybe that's just what it is. You don't feel like you have control because you can't even drive. You have to stay in the house. You have to watch your children. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, but also like there was something I was reading up on. It's like the OCD, and it was saying that like when you are OCD, like that is another thing that can be like a root of like an eating disorder, I guess, because like that's pretty much what I go through would be labeled as is an eating disorder, because like you should not allow food to control your life. You should not be centered around food. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Regardless if you're not starving yourself or not, which is, I'm not doing that, but like it should not control you that much. Or when you eat a little bit more than you want, you shouldn't be so distraught that it ruins your whole day. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where I'm at with it. And I'm glad that I can talk about this on the podcast, because I feel like on TikTok, like it's so hard for me to get on there and be like, hey, this is like what I'm going through, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's just harder to do that on TikTok, because also like when I get on TikTok, I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to see people talking about that. You know, like I want to see like happy things, like things that cheer me up. So I don't want to get on there and talk about that.
But that's okay. That's you. Like there's a lot of people who see stuff like that and they feel uplifted and they feel like they've regained a power. So like not saying that you necessarily need to get on TikTok and talk about that, but just because you as an individual don't want to see that kind of stuff doesn't mean that a big part of your audience wouldn't appreciate and like really take from that. Because I mean the podcast is like 45 minutes to an hour plus, and it's easy to get lost. Like something very valuable that we talk about, it's easy to get lost in this hour-long episode. Whereas a TikTok, you intentionally have to go out and like, okay, I'm gonna spend 1 minute doing this, dancing or talking about this. Like, so not saying that you need to get on TikTok and like talk about this, but you easily could. And I don't want you to feel like, oh, because I personally don't want to see that, somebody else doesn't want to, because everybody is different. And I'm sure there is somebody watching you who is going through the same things who would appreciate hearing that, and they don't even tune into our podcast.
Yeah.
So, but TikTok is very, I feel like I don't know, the algorithm is so weird, it might not even like reach anybody because how they fucking
it's very weird.
In a box.
Yeah, no, it is weird. A lot of people have been going through that. Like pretty much everybody that I follow has been like going through that. It's really weird. It's like for some reason I can only hear myself in one ear.
It's these ghetto chords.
There we go. Yeah, it's really weird. So like that's another thing too. Like I've been trying not to like stress about that either. Like my like what I want to post it should be like what I want to post, because I have to.
But you could even post it on your second account, because that account's like whatever.
But like, you know what? It's something that like I'm going through at this phase in my life, because it was the same thing on Vine. Like there was, when I was going through this too, like every little thing was bothering me. And so like I just stopped posting about like what was bothering me, because like if I talked about it, people would feed off of it, and it would start driving me crazy. Like when I posted something like, this is what I ate in a day, and like people were like literally making fun of like what I was eating, like that's a trigger for me. And like people keep doing it because they know that it bothers me. So that's another thing. Like I've been very open and transparent about like the criminal history and stuff like that. And now every time that it's always been brought up on a TikTok now. Now it's, oh, maybe she's rolling. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. So if I bring up something to do with eating and then people know that they can get to me by bringing that up, it's probably not a smart idea, and that's why, like, I just haven't talked about it as well, because, like, I don't want it to be fueled even more. But I didn't realize, like, how bad of a problem I am when it comes to the obsession about the body image and stuff like that until, like, Gavin really started noticing, because he was like, the way that you think about food and stuff is, like, not normal at all. Like,
the way you think about yourself is not normal.
Yeah, like, it's not normal. He was like, like, he literally, like, was saying, like, everybody needs food. You have to eat food regardless. Like, that's what gives you energy. So for you to sit here and, like, base your whole day in life and like literally obsess over it and, like, what can and can't go, like, it's a problem. And he was like, I literally, if we needed to, like, get you to see somebody, like, who could give you, like, a meal plan or something like that, if that would make you feel better, it would be a lot better than you just, like, restricting yourself from things and, like, making yourself go crazy about it. But, that's something that I've struggled with for years and years and years. Like, there might be a year that I obsess over the eating issue, and then for a year I won't obsess over it anymore, but it always comes back. It's always a constant battle. So, like, I don't even know if once you've had an eating disorder, like, do you ever recover from it? I think it's always going to be like a battle. And there's a TikToker that was talking about it. She has, what is it? Like, she binge eats or something.
And then throws up.
Yeah. And she said that her teeth, what is her name?
Oh, girl, that's literally, I've had to stop doing that because I was turning into a bulimia girl.
But she was talking about it, and, like, I never would have thought that she was struggling with that, because obviously, like, behind social media, it's
Are you talking about, I think I know who you're talking about.
She does makeup.
Michaela.
Yes.
I fucking love her. Yeah, no, she's talked about that being a problem that she's faced. And that's honestly, so there's different sides of the spectrum with eating disorders. And I would say the opposite of you. Like, I go through phases too where one day I'll gorge myself and then the next day I'll starve myself. And some days if I overeat, I will gag myself. And the whole, like, bulimia thing has only became a problem in the past, like, 6 months.
We're going to have to do a trigger warning for this video too.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm, like, every time I go and eat, I'm throwing up. I mean, obviously, I'm still thick as fuck. But if I, like, feel like I've overeaten, I absolutely do go and gag myself. But it is something I'm personally going to have to cut out because my teeth are, like, the most important thing to me. And my teeth are pretty perfect. And that is a side effect, is everything is a trade-off. And if you're going to do that, like, you're going to burn up your esophagus. You're going to eat up the enamel in your teeth. It will cause your hair to fall out. And I can't afford to be out here looking like a tumbleweed ass bitch because I couldn't get a grip on my eating. So it's just crazy that people can be struggling, but, like, the same thing, but on different sides of it. Like, I'm not obsessing about what I put in my body, but I am overdoing it and hurting myself to the point where I feel like I physically have to go gag myself. So yeah, what great topics for y'all to hear. We love it. This is us.
So we're gonna go.
We're fucked up.
We're gonna go into a little break, and we'll be right back. Hey y'all, it's Tasia. I wanted to talk to you about a podcast called Sydney in the Sheets. If you're tired of listening to sex podcasts that literally just intimidate you, then Sydney in the Sheets is a podcast for you. In each episode, Sydney and her girls, they talk about incredible ways to help you transform your life in and out of the bedroom. There are tons of sex podcasts that I've listened to, and they just intimidate me, so I stopped listening to them. But Sydney in the Sheets feels more like a real conversation you'd have with your friends. So this is definitely the podcast for you if you're like me. Not enough podcasts talk about how to make sex a better experience for women. Sydney in the Sheets is a sex-positive podcast made by women. Sydney and her friends will talk about losing their virginity, body count, purity, culture, sex positions, lube, and everything in between. They'll talk about the good, the bad, and the uncomfortable. And also the embarrassing parts of sex and relationships, because they don't think anyone should be having bad sex. To listen to Sydney in the Sheets, follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or whatever you listen. You can also listen ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.
Hey girls, we're back. So let's just like jump ship because we've traumatized enough people already with our fucked up lives.
Also, my mic wasn't on. I want to say that like we get so many messages where people are like, thank you for making me laugh. Like I look forward to your podcast. Like you guys are such a light. And sometimes like I feel bad for talking about stuff like this because like if people are like looking for like a lift me up, this week's episode probably wouldn't be that. But I feel like this podcast is more of like a therapeutic session for us at times too. So like obviously it's not every day where we're going to be like in a silly, goofy mood. There's some things that we're still struggling with as everybody else. But I also like, I hate talking about things like this. And that's why, like, I feel like we've almost been doing this podcast for a year. Like, there's not many times where, like, I talk about things that are that personal. But, like, at the same time, like, I'm still learning to be more open about stuff because for some reason, like, I don't like being vulnerable at all. Like, I can't stand it. But it is what it is. And, like, I don't want people to be like, oh, we should feel so bad for her and she needs us.
No,
like,
but
no, not like that at all. But, like, it is something that I'm struggling with. And, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, poor, pitiful me, like, at all. This is something that I battled with for years.
Yeah.
But I just needed to get that off my chest because it's, like, really, really bothering me. And I know that it's getting a little bit, like, ridiculous, girl.
But going back to, like, where we find purpose, I mean, yes, we do go over serious topics. We've like really shared a lot on this podcast, especially in the beginning half of our episodes. But when people hear us talk about these things, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people feel not so alone because they're like, it's easy to look at you like through Instagram and TikTok and be like, wow, her life is perfect. She is the standard. She is this, that, and the third. And then, you know, they might tune into the podcast and they're going through what you're going through. And then they hear you talk about it. And while, yeah, they might not be like, yay, we're both struggling. They will feel a sense of like, you know what, it's going to be okay because I'm not alone. And that, going back to purpose, that is how I find purpose. Like, I might not be like the most viral sensation on TikTok, but I have a core group of people who come back again and again and again and check up on me. And I do receive a lot of messages daily where people tell me that me just being myself and existing, dressing the way I dress, talking the way I talk, just being myself makes them feel like they can be who they are. And that is something that's honestly the most rewarding feeling, like outside of any monetary value, like hearing people verbally come up to me in public and to see the messages that I get again and again of people being like, you being yourself makes me feel safe. Like I feel like I can be myself. You give me confidence. And I'm not the most confident person, contrary to what people think, but all I could ever ask for and hope for is that by living, people would, you know, feel good about themselves. That's all I've ever wanted. I don't care where you come from, what you got going on, what size you are, how big, how small. We all have a purpose and we all are a vital piece of the puzzle. And we all have skills that other people may not have. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses. And no matter where you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what you got going on, there is something about you. You are unique and you are special and you do have a purpose. And so I can only strive to make people feel like they should be themselves. Because I feel like when you're not being yourself, you can't really step into your purpose and you can't really be comfortable. Like I think back, like before I came out of the closet, all the fucking shenanigans I was putting on, all the fucking shows I was putting on, being somebody I wasn't because I wanted to please everybody else. And I couldn't feel secure and safe and confident in who I was until I was like, you know what, fuck, I don't give a fuck what Pawpaw thinks. I don't give a fuck what this bitch thinks. I'm going to be myself. And when I came out of the closet, it was like night and day, like a fucking light switch. The next fucking day I came to school with a purse on, bitch. And I had fucking makeup on my face. The day before I was telling people that I liked pussy. Okay. And I'm not even kidding. Like, and then I came out of the closet. Not saying that, you know, my purpose comes from me being gay. What I'm saying though is like I learned to step into my skin and who I was, and I try to implement that in everything I post. And when people pick up on that and they're like, "You make me feel comfortable and confident," that's where I find purpose. So bringing it back to you in your situation, yes, it is vulnerable, but at the same time, people listening can really appreciate looking at somebody like you who they think is perfect and has everything together, and to know that they are not as fucked up as they think they are, because even their fave is just equally as fucked up. It's easy to look at somebody on the internet and think they've got it all together, but I'm telling you, every creator that you follow, every creator you listen to, every artist you listen to, they all have a world of fucking issues that they don't really speak about. And that's what I do love about us having a podcast, is being transparent and being, you know, open and honest about on the days when we are struggling, or the days that we're having good days, or, you know, like some episodes, the whole episode we're laughing, and some episodes we're like clearly burn out and clearly like got a lot on our mind. and
that's another thing too. Like, I think that me and you were talking about, like, last week, there was comments saying like they feel like we're getting lazy and stuff like that. Yeah. But like,
that's what's gotten to me the past week, honestly, because this show is important to me. Like, we don't have it all together and we don't have it all figured out.
But we also don't have help with this as well. Like, this is all new to us, and like we thought we were going to have more help than we've had, which is fine. Like, it's a learning experience and we needed that. But like, people don't understand, like, it's not as easy as like you would think.
We didn't have all the right tools. Like, we wanted to do, I really wanted to do a podcast. And now that we have it, you know, it is what it is. But we didn't like take like a how-to podcast. Like, we didn't really spend months of time like collecting data, listening to other podcasts. Like, I thought 52 episodes, because we are, you know, we're in contract for 52 episodes. I thought that would be easy. I was like, fuck yeah, we can just talk for days. And like, obviously the show's not going anywhere. We're gonna definitely continue these episodes. But the feedback in the past week, because we went from having 5 stars since we started to like, we've had like maybe 5 or 6 bad reviews, and then in the last week we got like so many. And like that, I read the reviews, and so when I saw all that, I was like, oh my god, like, we got to get it together. But like, I just want y'all to know, like, it is difficult outside of just having a podcast, but like, your faves, they struggle and they go through things, and I guess that's the takeaway from this episode. Like, it's really not always so cute and gorgeous.
But also too, like, people, I feel like another thing is to like always just try to, and I have to say this for myself, like sometimes like when I speak things, I'm like, girl, but you need to, what is it, practice what you preach. But that's not really what I'm trying to say. But like, I guess to be like more compassionate, because like that's something that I still have to work on too. Like, we don't know like what's going on behind the scenes. Like, we have no idea.
Yeah.
But like, also like the only people that, like, like I said, I don't drive. So like, even when we do the podcast lately, like the kids are here, they're napping. Before that, like, my mom could get the kids more, but you know, she can't really take off work during the week. And like, my mom is pretty much the only person like who gets the kids like all the time and like wants to get them and like really enjoys to get the kids. And like, you know, my dad has gotten them a few times. Like, I'm very grateful for that. But like, I don't really have that many people that I can be like, hey, like, I need you to come get the kids so that we can take all this time for the you know what I'm saying? Like, lately when we've been recording, the kids are here. Oh yeah.
And that does stress you out.
And yeah, it's hard because I'm always in fear that they're going to wake up, or like, you know, like.
And we're both already scatterbrained as fuck. So when one of them starts crying, it like
throws us off.
Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah. But like, especially with one, we're both mental health, but 2, we do have a lot going on and we're still learning. Just because we've been doing the podcast for so many weeks doesn't mean that we should still have it together. Like, it's not easy. It's not the same thing as doing a TikTok, you know?
It's not, but I've had a lot of fun doing the show.
Me too.
I don't want to sound so pessimistic, but at the same time, girls, let us know in the reviews, like, what do y'all want us to talk about? Because, you know, the whole like idea behind this podcast, I thought it would be a great idea to us as two very different creators come together and really discuss our mental health, our life, our background, and how we rose to this place that we're at. And with throughout the, podcast, really express the traumas that we've been through, the history that we have together and separately, and how we've kind of overcame. But like, we've kind of talked and hashed out literally so much that it is getting to a point where we're like, okay, what are we going to talk about now? What is the future of Unfazed and Unbothered? And we are working on that. And yeah, just be patient with us, girls.
Is that a new tattoo on your hand?
Yes.
Look.
Okay, I did.
We both got new
I saw that. Is so cute and gorgeous.
I love it. It's healing. It's healing still though, but it looks kind of weird. But when it was, oh my gosh,
mine is healing and so crappy looking right now. But I did for the audio listeners. We both have new tattoos. That's something exciting, uplifting. I love tattoos. Like getting tattoos on my body. Getting a tattoo is a therapy in itself because it's pain, but it's like.
I'm going to tell you, the guy who did this tattoo was so rough. I told Gavin, I said, it makes me never want to get a tattoo again.
That's a tough spot though, because that was hell.
It is. But also like I noticed because Gavin and I had planned, so basically every year on our anniversary, we're going to go get a tattoo. So we already got that one together, and then we got the second one together. And so we were like, we're going to see the same guy. So we go into the tattoo place, and we waited for hours. Like we ended up having to leave, and they called us to come back. And when we get there, we thought that the guy that was going to tattoo both of us, we thought he was going to tattoo both of us, but he didn't. It was a new guy. So the new guy ends up tattooing Gavin, and then another dude tattooed me that we wanted him to do both of ours. And Gavin didn't like how his turned out. Mine looks way different than his. Mine is like darker. The shading was more. And he was like really upset. And he was like literally upset when we left. Because, he's sleeved out. Like he has a lot of tattoos. He literally looks at me and he goes, I have never gotten a tattoo that I wasn't happy with. I said, are you really not happy with it? He said, look at the difference. And I was like, no, they look the same. And when we held it up, it is a complete difference. And he was like, did you notice how nervous he was? I said, yeah, I did notice that. I said, but I figured that after he started, he would be okay. He said, no, he was nervous the whole time. I should have said something before I left. But I'm going to show you a picture. So he's going to have to go back and tell the guy that did mine to fix his, like to shade it and stuff. But like, even like when we took a picture next to it, it's different. That's why like I didn't post it or anything, but like he was so upset, and that's what he said. I literally have never been look at mine and look at his. My thing though is like it really bothers me. Like if you're not confident to do somebody's tattoo, why are you doing it? Like why? I
know. Okay, so I will say it's definitely savable. It's really the only difference really is the shading.
It's the shading.
Thank God. Okay, because when you were describing it to me, I thought it was going to be like shit. It's giving very much amateur shading, but like, that could easily be fixed. Thank God. But I agree. Like if you're not comfortable and confident, don't take paying customers. Like,
well, it was also funny was that when the guy was like, "Hey, I'm ready for y'all," I'm first, and he goes, "No, I want to do him." So, like, I guess he figured that the other guy was going to be done with the tattoo that he was doing, and he didn't want to do me. So when we left, I said, it's real weird that he didn't want to tattoo me. He was like, probably because, I don't know if it's because I'm a girl or what it was, but I was like, okay, period. But, yeah, I mean, I've always taken tattoos well. Even if I'm in pain, nobody's going to know it.
Yeah. Like I can be still as fuck too.
Yeah. And Gavin was like, I told him, I said, it made me never want to get a tattoo again. He was like, I couldn't tell. I said, no, because you're not going to be able to. Like, I will sit there and cry my eyes out not cry my eyes out. Like, you will literally never know that I'm in pain.
Yeah, tattoos are not pleasant.
That was the worst one I've gotten, though. Even over this one that took multiple times in literally 14 hours, that one hurt the worst.
Yeah, tattoos at different parts of your body just hurt differently. I did also get my butterfly touched up ever so slightly because my antennas on my butterfly, they looked like moth antennas. They were so short and stubby, and so he also fixed that. But I did get 36 for the audio listeners. I got 36 on my hand because that is my angel number. A lot of people be asking about angel numbers, especially last summer and summer before, because I was all like fully immersed into angel numbers. Like angel numbers can be a sequence of numbers, like the threes, like 222, 444. But then other people just have specific numbers. Like when I see like 222, I'm like, okay, like I'm in the right place at the right time. But my specific angel number, I really don't even know how it came to be. But 3-6, I started seeing it a lot. And then I started noticing a 9 around it all the time too. But 3-6 is like the core number, and 3 plus 6 equals 9. I know I sound probably crazy to people who are not immersed into like angel numbers, but like anytime I'm having an idea or an epiphany, I'll see 3-6 somewhere. Like I'll like check out at a restaurant and my total will be 636. Or I'll get somewhere and it'll be like 336. Or I'll leave and it'll be like 436.
No caller ID. That really freaks me out when people do that.
Girl, it's a scammer.
Fucking bitch.
But yeah, no, I got my angel number and I'm living for it. I love the medieval font. It looks so cute and gorgeous. It's gonna look great in pictures. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I want to get this fucking microphone tattoo covered up because it looks like shit. I went through a phase where I just wanted to be like covered in tattoos when I was like poor and couldn't afford good tattoos. And I was like, fucking crackheads do my tattoos. Live vicariously through my mistakes. Don't fucking do it, bitch. If you want a tattoo, you need to commit.
Remember when I was pregnant with Greenlee and like you went to go get a tattoo and I was like talking about this guy that was trash and had like bad teeth or something, and the tattoo artist goes, well, I have rotten teeth.
I used to call him Graveyard Grill.
And I'm like, okay, well, I wasn't talking about you, Graveyard Girl.
Okay.
I was talking about somebody else, but since you feel hit, fuck you.
Okay, see, that's a perfect example of how you have to be a little more aware of your surroundings.
I know, because my dumbass be like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, shit on my biscuit. Sorry.
No, because he literally was missing all of his teeth, and you were talking about somebody who was Toothless Tommy, and he's just over there digging in my arm like, wait a minute now, goddammit, I ain't got no teeth. Like he was I think he was more affected because he wanted to fuck you low key. Like he
did not.
Yes, he
I
did.
was pregnant as hell.
And he wanted you.
Oh no, he didn't, ma'am.
He thought she was very cute and gorgeous, but he was not cute and gorgeous.
No, ma'am.
Whatsoever.
Ow. Don't hit me again.
It was not it. But anyways,
Fred, I feel like I remember like back in the day you used to always say that. Oh, he won't you. No, they don't.
But he would ask about you all the time. Because I would go and get tattoos at this place a lot. I'm not going to disclose that location because they're trash and I don't recommend. But I would go there and get tattoos done. And I brought her with me one time, like a long time ago. Like this was like 2018 ish. And I would bring her with me a time or two. And he, after that, would always ask about you. Always would ask about you. And he'd be like, you need to hook me up. And in my head, I'm like, bitch, not in a million fucking years.
Yeah, no ma'am clam.
No ma'am, no
You can suck on his hand.
No, period, because it was just not giving sauce. What was sad is that he went to like the school in my town, and he was actually very cute. But dental hygiene is very important. But he was doing the macaroni and cheeses.
Yes, he was. Macaroni and cheeses. And we don't need that.
We don't need that in our life.
No, we don't.
No offense.
God bless.
But y'all got to get it together because your teeth will rot out of your head. And you don't want to be looking like a fucking Waffle House bitch. No offense to the Waffle House bitches listening. We love you, but at the same time,
I like them hash browns.
I hate that, like, you can't say anything or think anything because
people are like, that is so rude. Like, girl,
listen, look, something should not be excused. Like, people need to fucking put on goddamn deodorant. Okay, people need to brush their teeth. Like, I can't deal with the excuses. Like, we need to take care of ourselves. Like, literally, as best as you can. Like, obviously, there's some people who really, literally can't. Like, they don't have a house, and that's a whole other thing. But like, listen, people love to think that their shit don't stink, and they think that they're like such good people. Let me tell you, like, we all talk shit. Yeah, every human being, every one of you listening.
I need to do better. At least I can say that. I need to do better.
Yes, we do. But the thing is, here's the difference. Everyone talks shit. We all make observations.
I can't stand when people are like, really? That's mean.
That's mean, bitch, because you be kiki and ha-ha.
You know who this was reminding me of?
Who?
Bilson. Looking like a Wilson. Yeah, I can't stand people who are like that because it's like we all think it and we all say that, okay? Stop gatekeeping yourself.
No, okay, I can't. No, it's really obnoxious because everyone does talk shit. Like, but there's a difference. There's a fine line. Like, personally, we would never, like, if I'm ever in public, I'm gonna wait for the bitch to pass. I'm like, bitch, this is who the fuck she was wearing. Like,
Right.
I can't stand a bitch who's like so blatantly obvious that they're talking shit because I care about people's feelings and like,
Yeah. But I also
they're never
can't
gonna
stand
hear our thoughts
when like people
know?
try to make you feel bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I went through a phase where I was making you feel bad about shit. But I'm like, girl, shut your mouth. Like when I look back, I'm like, okay. Like because I was trying to do better. So like I had to be like that if I wanted to do better. But like now I'm looking back like, no ma'am. No ma'am. Because we're not gonna do that. Because
no, we all think things.
Yeah,
like, and you can share it amongst your bestals. Like we be talking shit all the time.
Yeah, period.
But I would never I would never try to like hurt somebody's feelings.
A fucking asshole, but like, yeah, we all think it, whatever.
Right.
Like that picture was giving very much praying mantis, you know?
It was giving
But you know
scary,
what?
scary
Let me just
Susan.
say this too. As harsh as I may be on other people, I am worse on myself.
Oh yeah.
So
no,
like
same.
people are like, you're such a bitch. I'm a bitch to myself.
We're
as
not
well.
just casting stones in glass houses.
No, because we do it to ourselves.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like that's just it comes with the mental illness.
Yeah.
It does. But
by no means is this us encouraging anyone to bully people. Again, let me emphasize.
I just hate a perfect Polly who will be like,
there's no such thing as a perfect
yeah,
Polly.
who will be like, we're not gonna, no, that's me.
My mother told me if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything wrong. Bitch, why don't you suck the shit from my hole? I can't stand you bitches because y'all seriously, the second my faggot ass walks by y'all turn y'all's noses up to me. So
oh my gosh,
even.
and it's always the same people.
It's always the carbon copy same ass bitch, like the Vera Bradley ass bitch. I'm sorry, ho, but I'm Bottega Veneta and you're motherfucking Vera Bradley bitch.
No, you know what's so crazy is this is another thing that gets me heated is like it's the crowd that like just has to have their nose up like I go to church every Sunday.
Oh,
but
fucking shut up.
First of all, I love church. I love Jesus. WWJD and what would Jesus do? But like I'm telling you, these same bitches, like when I'm out in public with the kids, like I feel like they're like, who the fuck this 12-year-old with 2 children? And like I'll see them like look at my hands and see if I'm married. God forbid I didn't have a ring on my fucking finger. You know what I'm saying? But they're still judging me because they're like, this fucking trifling bitch. First of all, I'm almost 24 years fucking old. Thank you for not asking. But like the same bitches, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even know where I was going with that, but try me.
I can't know. I actually recently went to this flea market and this guy was like, he had a Bible, but he's not educated quite yet, but you could tell he was really trying. He was trying. Like, he was like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? And I was like, yeah, but he was giving major fuck me eyes. Like, I could tell he wanted my blissy. He wanted my blissy pie. But he was like, so you're a transgender? And I was like, no. And I had to like kind of educate him on.
I would have said, no, I'm a woman.
Girl, stop. I'm not a woman.
I'm a woman.
I'm a man. Okay, people are still confused. But anyways, I was kind of educating him on the topic, but he was just like talking about how he too, as someone who is like super self-righteous and goes to church regularly, he can't stand how people be turning their nose up to people like me. And I'm like, who are you? Like, why do people think that because they go to church on Sunday and they carry their Bible in a Vera Bradley Bible thing, like that they're suddenly such
gosh,
they're God's
it bothers
chosen
me.
people. Like, that's
why I love the church that we go to, which I'm very sad, but like our pastor is leaving, and so we're going to go to a different church. But like that's why I love our church, because the people are so different. Like I've never met it. I literally have never been to a church like that. That's why I didn't go to church for so many years, because like I felt so uncomfortable, because I'm like, what? Like this is not me at all. But like there was even like everybody's just so like accepting there, I guess. And there was even a post that like somebody that I go to church like they made, and it was like basically like pointing fingers at everybody in everybody at a church that tries to point fingers, because like we all sin, we all go through our own shit, and like we have no business doing that.
I wonder though if somebody like me walked up in that bitch, how they would be. Because I've had, no offense, I've never been to your church, so I can't speak on your church. But I have went to church with people who've been like, oh my God, this church is just so welcoming.
And then you go in
and then I go and everyone's like, what the fuck? Who brought this faggot in here?
Yeah, no. But no.
You're like, you're highly favored. So you're probably, I'm not going to speak for that church because I don't know that church from Adam's house.
No, it's I know exactly what you're saying. It's very small. It's a recovery church. And by recovery,
okay.
Yeah, it's a recovery church. It's very small. It's not big at all. And it's a recovery church, which is not just for like people with addiction and stuff like that. No, it's for marital issues, people that, have kind of been.
Okay, so everyone's kind of been fucked up.
Everybody. Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people there, the same position that me and Gavin have been in, like they are literally still in addiction, but they go in, they're not judged. Like it's very, you don't feel judged when you go in.
Okay.
And like there was a church that's local to about where we live. Like I don't like it because it's like massive and like it's exactly what you would think a church would be, and like no man clam. But there's also there's so many different people that go there that I've noticed, and nobody looks at anybody like that, and that's why I really like it. That's why I'm very sad that we're going to a different church, but also like, so Greenlee goes to the kids' daycare, and like everybody knows everybody, and so everybody knows everybody's names, like all the kids and stuff like that. And so I don't even know a lot of people there, but people will know that I'm Greenlee's mom, and so that they're like, hey, Greenlee's mom, but like they're just very close, and it makes you like feel safer when you do drop your kids off or whatever. But yeah, it's the only church I've ever liked, and so I'm really hoping that the new church we go to will be good because I'm sad.
Yeah, no, that does sound like a very accepting church because, like I said, I've been to other churches where people tried to sell me on them being so accepting.
I didn't know that there were churches out there that like literally were a recovery church. Like I know that there was one in Winder, like that class that I had for recovery, but I was the only drug addict in there. Okay. So when I tell you that like that, I was like worried about this. I was like, oh, well, the church I went to was the same way, but I was the only drug addict. No, it's not like that. Like literally everybody has the same problems, if not worse, or not as, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I just love it there.
Well, that's good that you have that because having like a community is very important. It really, it's good to have people that you can relate to around you because, I mean, again, people don't want to feel alone. And that's why, again, going back to the whole purpose, just maybe speak up about it, talk about it, because people will be like, damn, me too.
I love today's episode.
I know it started off a little rocky, but I think we saved it in the end. I think that wraps up this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Again, please leave us some reviews. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all. Love you.